Welcome to the Medical Device Made Easy podcast. Here is Munir Al-Azouzi from easymedicaldevice.com, and today we'll make the May update. And do you know that this month is the last month before the date of application of EU MDR? So we are waiting for that since a long time. Mainly, initially there was a 3 years transition period until the 26th of May 2020. And now, because of the coronavirus, we had another additional year until the 26th of May 2021. So I hope you are ready for the EU MDR. If you are not, so mainly I am providing you with kind of a checklist related to what you have to do or what maybe you have to not forget. So I'm doing a video per day where I'm publishing that on LinkedIn, so you can follow that on LinkedIn or on my Telegram group. So if you are not on the Telegram group, so you should join us. So mainly it's one video per day about one topic. It's 1 minute video, so it's not like I'm providing a lot of information. It's just that a reminder of what you have to have within your organization. So I hope you are following me and you are looking at that. If you have any topic that you think, oh, maybe it would be interesting to put in one day, so let me know, because we have the 30 days to cover. And maybe at one point I will say, okay, I don't have anything else to tell you. So yeah, if you can help me, it would be really great. So yeah, so don't hesitate to go to your LinkedIn to follow me, or to go to the Telegram group and then also look at what I'm publishing there. So yeah, as I said, you have to be ready. There is a lot of things that needs to be done for Class 1 products, because Class 1 products, custom-made products, combination products, products that are mainly having no certificates, will need to comply to the EU MDR by the date of application, by the 26th of May 2021. And then for the others, there is an exception on Article 120 for those that have a certificate, or for those that are benefiting from an additional transition period, like the up-classified products, up-classified from Class 1 to Class to an additional upper class. Then those ones are benefiting from an additional transitional period. Okay, so what we'll talk today is first about the implementation plan of the EU MDR. So we have the implementation plan for April that was issued. So there is not a lot of things that were, if I can say, mentioned. One thing that was important, and that is important, is for Annex 16 products. We are still waiting for the common specification for Annex 16 products, and now it is planned in Q3 2021. So we are expecting to have that, because even Annex 16 products, or products without a medical purpose, so like contact lenses that are coloring your eyes, like liposuction equipments, like electro equipments, brain stimulation equipments that are listed in Annex 16, they have normally to comply to the EU MDR immediately by the date of application. But normally it's also, they have to comply to it if the common specifications are published, and they are not published. So then they have to wait that first the common specifications are published, and then when they are published, mainly you can apply the EU MDR 6 months. You have to apply EU MDR 6 months after their publication. So this is also something that is important that to mention. So out of that, there is not a lot of information. There is information about in IVDR, related to also the selection of the reference labs that have to be the European Union reference laboratories that have to be created or defined for IVDR products. But out of that, there is not much information there. Okay. The European Union is now publishing fact sheets. So there is 2 fact sheets that were published this month. There is a fact sheet about implantable devices. So there is a reminder there about the fact that they have to have implant cards. So implant cards are cards that should be available for the patients as soon as they get implanted with your products, so that they know exactly what is the UDI code of the product, what is some information about the products on it. In case there is an issue with the product, they know exactly what was implanted to them. There is also a guidance that was issued about implant cards. So if you missed that, the guidance is MDCG 2019-8 version 2, where there is also a template or an image of how does an implant card look like, so that you can create the same for your organization. There is also the implant card leaflet. So mainly there is the implant card, but there is also the leaflet which explains maybe some of the symbols that are mentioned inside, or maybe some more information. So you have to read this fact sheet just to get more information about what needs to be available for your products if you are manufacturing some implants. The second fact sheet is about Class 1 devices. This fact sheet is mainly about a step-by-step process to explain to you if I can say, it's like a checklist also, what you have to have available. So there is this pathway, this flow chart that is showed on the fact sheet, that you can look at that. So mainly all those links that I'm talking, or those documents that we are talking about now, you can find them directly on the show notes. So you go on the show notes and you have the links, and you can just go there. Okay, so as I've said, class 1 devices, there is a priority for them. Actually, I'm receiving a lot of requests from people that are class 1 and say, oh, can you help me to be compliant to the EU MDR by the 26th of May 2021? The problem is that, yeah, it's really a short term now. So if you are not ready, if I can say, you have really to put all your effort on it. The problem is that, yeah, it's really the last month. So in 1 month, we cannot build the technical file, build the quality management system, build the clinical evaluation, build the risk management file, build all those documents that are needed for your organization. So it's something that, yeah, can take more time. So anyway, you have to start. So even if you will be late, you have to start so that you will be ready as soon as possible. So mainly this is the point here. Okay, and last point is about MHRA. So MHRA issued a guidance for free cell certificates. So these are certificates that are issued by the MHRA or by any member state, any organization, any country, to prove that your product is sold in the country or sold in the European Union, and also that it is available. It's CE marked, or it is following the regulations. So MHRA is issuing this guidance for manufacturers that are located inside the UK, so that they can ask for a free cell certificate. And when you look at this guidance, it's really well detailed with all the screenshots for the platform, where you have to click, what you have to do. It's really a work instruction, if I can say, about how to ask for a free cell certificate. So if you are in the UK post Brexit, and then you need a free cell certificate, so you can go to this platform and you can directly ask for it, so that you can continue to sell your products outside of the UK. So it's really important for you. Okay, so now we go to the standardization. So this month there was a lot of information about standardization. I mean, not a lot of information, but a lot of activities that were ongoing. The first one is mainly that there was a lot of updates of the current harmonized standards. So harmonized standards for in vitro diagnostic regulation, harmonized standard for medical device directive. Harmonized standard for the in vitro diagnostic directive, IVD, the medical device directive, and the AIMDD, so the active implantable medical device directive. So there was an update of those harmonized standards, just to make them up to date to the last standard that are existing. And in parallel, there was also a publication of the plan for the update of the harmonized standards related to MDR and IVDR. So when you look at this plan, there is all the list of standards that will be worked on, if I can say, for this by the CE and CNLEC. The only thing is that the deadline where those will be available is mentioned as the maximum, if I can say, the 27th of May 2024. So even after the MDD, if I can say, is over, and the MDR is mandatory, so it is something that is the deadline, if I can say, but we suppose that there is a lot of standards will be available before. So it's not like the date where they will be published. They just say it's the deadline where they expect everything to be available and everything to be ready. So yeah, we hope that this will be done quickly, because mainly a lot of manufacturers are asking about those harmonized standards. As a reminder, the harmonized standards, if they are available, it's good. If they are not available, you have to continue to use the most up-to-date standards, because mainly this is the standards that will be anyway mentioned on the new version. And now you have, if I can say, the list of all the new standards that will be available. So you have just to look at that, and you'll check if your standard is available in this list. So go on the show notes and get this list from the element that is mentioned there. So go on the annex, and there is a full table with all the standards that will be available for MDR and IVDR. Okay, notified bodies. So what is the situation actually with notified bodies? So we have actually one additional notified body that was appointed this month for EU MDR, which is EUROFINS Expert Service. So this notified body has been appointed, and now it is the 20th notified body under MDR. So congratulations to this notified body, because yeah, as I've said, we need really those notified bodies so that we can place compliantly our medical devices on the market. Without notified bodies, we are a bit blocked. I have a lot of my manufacturers, my customers that were asking me, do you have some notified bodies available so that they can help? I mean, everybody, all the notified bodies are now overloaded, so it's not like there is a list of available ones. But if you are an available notified body and need customers, don't hesitate, contact me. I have a lot of customers to provide you then. What is also available is for IVDR, there is no additional notified bodies. 4 notified bodies for IVDR, and this is really something that starts to be really critical. Nearly 1 year before the date of application for IVDR, it's really something that we need now. 4 notified bodies will be really difficult. It will be really difficult for them to manage all the customers that will be coming to them. So if you are an IVDR company, IVD company, and you have to follow IVDR and you need a notified body, mainly everybody will be in that case soon. So please go ahead, go now to be compliant to IVDR and find a notified body immediately, because if you are waiting more, you will be really lost and you will be maybe not able to provide your products anymore. So Team NB issued a survey, a report, so 2020 report about around 26 notified bodies that they asked, and there was a lot of graphs information. What I really picked from those graphs is that the fact that there is an a decrease of the withdrawal of EC certificates. So mainly we have less EC certificates that are withdrawn. So mainly there is a stabilization here. And what is also interesting is that there is an increase of full-time employees. So apparently the fact that there is a new regulation or new efforts to have for this new regulation. So there is a boom, if I can say, in terms of hiring of competent people that can help those organizations. So this is something that is really interesting. But go and look at this report, check what is mentioned there, check what is mentioned inside. Those data are data from 2020, so not as of today, but really end of the year. And there is a lot of information that can be interesting for you. One also information that is interesting is the fact that nearly all the certificates, a majority of the CE certificates under MDD will expire by 2024. So it means that we'll have a big number of manufacturers that will arrive and ask the notified body exactly at the same time to get certified, so 2024. So don't make the mistake, don't wait 2024, even if your certificate expires in 2024, don't wait 2024 to get certified under EU MDR. Ask your notified body to certify you before, because really it will be a nightmare, if I can say, for notified bodies, and also a nightmare for manufacturers that will say, okay, what's the situation, why we cannot do this, we have followed the rules, etc. Yeah, but if there is a lot of manufacturers that are coming and not a lot of notified bodies, then yeah, it's easy to understand that there will be here a bottleneck. Okay, so now we are going to the guidance and standards. So we have some new guidances that were published, but we have also some guidances that were just updated. So we have the MDCG 2018-1, which is the guidance on UDI and basic UDI-DI that was updated. So there was 2 elements that were changed. There was a paragraph where 1 word was removed, but there was also an addition of 1 paragraph, which is a paragraph related to the maximum number of reuse of medical device. So mainly when you have a medical device that you are reusing, usually there is no number. You say you can reuse it as long as possible, but there is maybe some medical devices that have a maximum number of reuse. For example, you can reuse them only 10 times. So in that case, those medical devices have to have a basic UDI-DI or UDI-DI, and each time there is a change to this reuse number. For example, before it was 10 times and now it's 15 times. Then you have again to change also the UDI-DI because mainly it's a change of the product. So it's also something. So there is a paragraph here talking about this case. So if you are in this situation where your products have some reuse number, maximum number of reuse, then you have to apply what is mentioned there regarding the basic UDI-DI and the UDI-DI. The second guidance that was updated, or that was published, So the MDCG 2021-6, which is a question and answer regarding clinical investigation. So there are around 20 questions and answers that were provided regarding a clinical investigation. One of them is, for example, what is a clinical investigation? So mainly, as soon as you are doing an evaluation on a human, a one-by-one evaluation on a human, then this is a clinical investigation, and you have to request an ethical committee to approve this thing. So I know that maybe a lot of manufacturers are testing their products on humans without any, if I can say, committee, or without any boundaries, or without any regulation. So this is not normally authorized. You have to authorize this kind of use for your devices with an ethical committee, with a clinical investigation. Then all the data that you are gathering will be used for your technical documentation, for your clinical evaluation. There are some questions also like, what is the difference between performance, clinical performance, and clinical benefit? And it's well explained with a graph there. Or who is responsible for determining the correct regulatory pathway for a clinical investigation? So if you have questions about clinical investigation, this guidance will be really providing you maybe one of the answers that you are looking for. Then the next guidance is the MDCG 2021-4, which is the application of the transitional provision for certification of class D in vitro medical devices. So mainly it's for in vitro diagnostic, so 2017-746. So mainly here you have also a lot of questions and answers about that, about class D, IVD, how to use that. Question, for example, is about the European Union reference labs. Can we place devices on the market without those European Union reference labs are designated? So this is something that is there. Can we place that without the expert panel to be designated, also to be available? So these are things that this guidance is answering. So if you're in that case, if you have an IVD product class D, then you can go to this guidance and try to answer to see if there is some question that maybe that you are asking yourself, and where there is the answer there. Then there is one guidance that was one standard that was published, which is the ISO TS 37137, which is the Biological Evaluation of Absorbable Medical Devices. So this guidance, this standard, can be interesting for one thing. We have there now a new rule under the EU MDR for substances that are intended to be introduced into the human body. So if you have this kind of substance, usually, or some of them were class 1 under MDD, and now they can become class 2A, 2B, or 3. It depends of how exactly they are introduced inside the body. And then this kind of biological evaluation can help you to prove that your product is safe, I can say, for the patient, and there is no issue with that. So maybe this is something that you will have to use, or have the methodology you will have to implement for your type of devices. Okay, so now what happened within Easy Medical Device? So within Easy Medical Device, we had still the podcast. So we have a podcast episode 123 on IVDR. So where we talk about how to write a performance evaluation and with Hakan Inan. So we talked about that. So if you are doing, for example, in medical devices, CER, so clinical evaluation report, here we are talking about performance evaluation. So it's exactly the equivalent, but within the IVDR. Then on episode 124, Eric Volbrecht helped us to understand how you can make a correct merger and acquisition for your company in case you are doing that during this period, during the MDR period, because here there is not only the financial aspect that you have to look at, you have also to look at some regulatory aspect, and this is mainly what will be driving all your activity about this merger and acquisition. Then we have episode 125. I make here a checklist of how you can be ready to EU MDR, date of application. So I mentioned to you that, for example, you need to have a quality management system, you need to have a technical file, you need to have a clinical evaluation, etc., etc. So, and as I've said to you, I'm making one video per day, 1 minute per day, where I'm giving you one topic that you have to understand or to have to remember regarding the EU MDR. So this is something that is really, I hope, helping you, providing you support. As I've said, don't hesitate, send me a message or whatever at info@easymedicaldevice.com. Just tell me if you have other topics. You say, okay, maybe this can be an interesting topic for the 1 minute chat, because as I've said, I have to do that within the next 3 days. So yeah, I need maybe some of the subject from your side. And lastly, so we have had a LinkedIn Live with Cesare Magri from Beyond Clinical. And this was an interesting one. It was 1 hour long, but during this hour, we talked about PMCF. So all about PMCF. And so a lot of questions about PMCF. And one of the questions that always comes back is, do you need a PMCF for class 1 products? I say, yes, you need a PMCF plan for class 1 products. Maybe not a PMCF survey, but every devices should have a PMCF plan. So you have to have that available. So mainly if you are struggling with your PMCF, or if you need any information about PMCF, you can go to this video, the LinkedIn Live or LinkedIn replay that is on my YouTube channel. And if you need the PMCF plan template, you can also go to the shop easymedicaldevice.com/shop, where you can find a template that will be available for you for free. So don't hesitate to go and to download that. Okay, so it was the end for this update, this May update regarding the medical device regulations. So I hope this was really helpful to you. Don't hesitate to go to the YouTube channel and to place a like, or also to place a comment, because really it helps me a lot. Also on the platform, the podcast platform. So don't hesitate also. And if you have any question, you can ask me directly at info@easymedicaldevice.com, info@easymedicaldevice.com. If you need a UK rep, you can also contact us. So Easy Medical Device is providing this service at ukrep@easymedicaldevice.com. And now we will start also to provide the service of Swiss rep in case the Swiss doesn't sign the MHRA with the European Union, so mutual recognition agreement. Then you will need a Swiss representative. So if you need a Swiss representative, contact me at swiss@easymedicaldevice.com. Okay, so it was really a pleasure for me. I hope you have really a great day, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.